Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who's new, I'm Leorah and I'm so glad you found me. Sweeties, if you're new here, welcome to the Peacock. Okay, so we're going to do a review today of the Gone Rogue palette from Lois Cosmetics. If you don't know, Lois Cosmetics is a UK-based indie brand, and she just came out with her first product at the beginning of 2020, and she came out with the Rose Metal palette. This is the palette that I have already featured on my channel. I have done a couple of looks, have done a review. It is live on my channel if you want to check that out. This is the more neutral palette. This is how she looks, really pretty. But today we are of course going to talk about the Gone Rogue palette, which looks like this. And this is the colorful roguish companion, of course, to the more neutral palette. So here you have, of course, an abundance of vibrancy that is really hard to take in the best possible way, because it is just that beautiful. So before we are going to go into the swatches, and today I'm going to live swatch it here on my channel because it is a smaller palette. It's a 12-pan palette, so I do believe that we do have the time to live swatch it here. We are going to just go for 1 second and I'm going to show you the looks that I've already done with this palette. Alright sweeties, I hope you did enjoy the looks. I did, I absolutely did, and I'm also going to tell you more, of course, in the review part at the end of the video, okay? So let's maybe go in and do the swatches. I'm gonna go row by row with nothing on my arm, just so you know. Now, if you're new here and you don't know, I'm not the swatching queen, but I'm gonna try, okay? I'm still trying to get into it a little bit more than I used to. I never used to swatch anything live on my channel, but I'm trying to do it, okay? So anyway, this is of course an orange matte, then it is followed up by a super vibrant red matte, a red matte. I don't know. So anyway, it sounds like I'm talking about rats. Okay, then we have a golden shimmer, which is, it is not like a pure golden shimmer. It is sort of leaning a little bit dark, like it has a bit of a dark undertone to it for a gold, you know, which makes it a little bit more grungy and roguish, you know, so it makes absolute sense. I really like it. Then I'm gonna swatch this green one for you that I also used to in my today's look. This is this one. Oh sweeties, greens are just my thing. I just cannot stop myself. Green is Leorah in a color. If you want to describe Leorah in a color, you gotta go with green, you know, that's me. Okay, then we have a kind of a mustardy shade. It's not a real yellow, but it is kind of a mustardy matte, which looks like this. I use that also a lot as a transition shade actually in the palette. It doesn't show up so good or so well on me because I'm just really fair, but I hope you can see it. So then we have a like a corally leaning red matte. Rat matte. Can't get over it. So this is how it looks. So this is the lighter companion, of course, to this one here, like that. After that we have a shimmer that is a teal shimmer, which is called I Am Free. It's so cool. Okay, let me just get this on. This is how it looks. Really pretty. Also use that of course today, and you're going to of course see how I'm creating this look in just a second. Okay, then we have a dark fuchsia shade, which is called Misfit. I didn't tell you the other shade names. I don't know, I just realized that I didn't, but anyway. Oh, so beautiful. Sweeties, after green, fuchsia in any shade of fuchsia is probably my second most favorite color. Not necessarily for doing makeup, but in general, also like in my clothes and in everything. This swatch is a little bit crumbly, but I hope you can see. So this is a really nice, beautiful fuchsia, dark but really dark. Okay, to have a nice companion to this dark fuchsia, we have the unapologetic shade, which is a pink shimmer. And when we're talking pink shimmer, we are talking pink shimmer. It is beautiful. It's super vibrant, really pretty. Then we're going to have a purple matte, and this one is, I don't want to say it is necessarily warm leaning. It is I don't know. It is what it is. I'm so good at this. Okay, it doesn't come across true to color when I'm swatching this. I'm gonna try to. It shows up differently when you put it on a unset base. Definitely, it shows up a little bit more like it is in the pan. Let me just give you the comparison shade here. You know, this is how it looks in the pan, and this is also more how it looks when you're actually putting it on your eye. It's just that it doesn't have much to grab onto when I'm putting it here. Okay, then we are coming to the shimmer, which is the Gone Rogue shimmer. This is a beautiful shimmer that is multi-chrome. You know, it is like a blue purple multi-chrome shimmer. Did I just say shimmer? I meant, of course, glitter. Sorry. This is the only glitter that is in the palette. Doesn't swatch so well. Doesn't swatch so well because, you know, I should probably do it with a brush. But anyway, maybe I should do that. Let's just do that. This is all very live, sweeties. Let me just do it like this. That is much better. Okay. I don't think I've really ever live swatched a glitter on my channel, so you gotta forgive me that I'm not perfect at this. Okay, so you can see that it is definitely shifting, and it's really, really pretty. You probably see more of that green tealish shift than the purple, but there is definitely like a purple base into this. Okay, so one more shade to go, and I'm also going to talk about that one in the review part. This is a very, very dark plum purple, and this is non-conformist. This is how it's called, and this packs a punch, sweeties. Look at that one. All right, so that is the whole palette swatched out. Swatched. Where did that come from? Okay, I gotta clean my hands. I'm going to do that while you are going to watch how I created this look. Let me just before that show you again the color scheme here. This is how it looks. I hope it comes across just how beautiful this palette is. So now we're going to go, of course, into me creating this look. Sorry for just staring at the viewfinder, but I have to, when I'm looking at the swatches, and I have to just see if you're seeing something, you know, that's why. Okay. So that is what it is. Okay, so while I'm getting myself cleaned up, I'm going to let you watch how I created this look. It was kind of a bit of a situation there because I only started to enjoy this at the end, and I'm going to tell you in the review part why that is. So I hope you do enjoy this, seeing Leorah struggle, and then I'm going to see you in just a second for the review part. sweeties, we are back and it is done. I didn't think that would happen. I thought in the middle of the look that I cannot do this. I will tell you. I will tell you about it in just a second. So let's just zoom in. Not that we're not already zoomed in enough, but want to spoil you. Okay, so this is how it looks. And now we're just going to talk a little bit about what we have here. This is not my most favorite look at all, you know, but that is my fault because I thought I'm going to try this. I'm going to try to leave my comfort zone, and I know I have to push myself to do that because I'm just such a, like, it's hard for me, you know. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, maybe you saw that I did put that light green shimmer on as a transition shade. I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't do that. It just doesn't work for me. I don't like it, and but I tried. Anyway, I wanted to go for like a peacock kind of a color scheme, and I did not have a matte to accommodate that. Not a criticism of the palette, it's just what it is. You know, there is not a matte that I can work with that would have done that for me. So that's why I did that look. If you see me glancing here, it's just because I have another mirror here and I just cannot believe it. I just can't. So anyway, I think overall, considering how I feel about the shimmers above the crease and things like this, I think considering it, also how it looked in the beginning, and I thought I'm going to lose it and I'm going to like have to dump all the footage and whatever. I think considering all of that, it looks actually really, really good. But I'm just really not used to having anything shimmery here. But anyway, so let's talk about the palette. Now, this was really just my choice, you know, because I wanted to use, wait, this shade and this shade were the only shades that I hadn't used yet. So these, of course, I did feature, and I used this one, as I just told you, as a transition shade, and also, of course, under my lower lash line, and then this one and this one. So that is, of course, the color scheme more or less of a peacock, and that is what I wanted to achieve. Did I achieve it? It's a definite maybe. Maybe I did, but maybe not in the best way possible. But of course, I cannot necessarily for a review look pull in a shade from a different palette. That I don't think that that's fair, right? Because the spotlight is on this palette. Now let's talk about this. This is of course the Gone Rogue palette from Lois Cosmetics. It came together with the Rose Metal palette that I also have, and there is already a review up live on my channel if you want to check that out. So let's talk about this though. So we have of course that packaging that also, you know, it is that sleek kind of roguish thing, you know. I totally see why she did it like this. I really, really like it. It's cardboard packaging. You do have a mirror here, and then of course you do have 12 shades here. Now let me just show you the mattes. Maybe this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So the ratio between mattes and shimmers, and of course one pressed glitter, is really, really nice. Now do I have a criticism of the palette? I don't want to jump into this actually, but there is one criticism, just one, okay? And that is that basically all of the mattes are leaning into that color scheme, that sunset color scheme, you know? I probably would have switched one of those tones, maybe either this one or this one, for like a green matte or a teal matte or something like this. I think that would have made it for me more versatile. Now I'm not saying that this is not beautiful, because these shades, and you probably saw it also in the beginning when I showed you the looks that I did already with the palette, that they don't work. Like I'm not saying that they don't work, you know, it looks beautiful. I just feel like one colder matte would have maybe be also nice, you know. For me, probably it would have been nice to just add one more row and just have everything. But that's just how I vibe, you know, that's just how it is. I do believe though that as a standalone palette, it is, especially if you're new to makeup, it's going to be really hard for you to work with this. But that's why she came out with the Rose Metal palette. And if you don't know how she looks, let me just present them both to you next to each other, because they are actually really, really nice companion palettes, you know. Like this. So you have of course a very rosy neutral palette, and then you have of course a very, very colorful palette, and you can actually really pull in a lot of shades from here to here. And that's why this whole concept of releasing two palettes, a neutral one and a colorful one at the same time, and there are so many copycats that are copying Lois Cosmetics right now. Sweeties, I do believe that Lois Cosmetics was the first one, at least the first one that I realized who was doing it. And now like so many brands are doing it, you know, and I just want to really thank Lois Cosmetics for this, because this is brilliant and I love this. Because yes, even if you are just in a palette like this and not so much into this, it kind of, you know, you kind of still want to have this one because it makes this one more versatile and more workable, you know. So it just business-wise, it makes so much sense to just, even for the colorful community, to have something like this to add, because it just makes everything a little bit easier and even more versatile. Yeah, so that is that. I just, with all of that, I just wanted to say that as a standalone palette, this is a little bit hard, you know. Even for me, it was a little bit hard because there is not really a lot of light shades that you can use as a transition shade. Now, do I have a problem with that? Absolutely not. I just pull in something else, you know. I pulled for some of the looks, I pulled in this one. For most of the looks, I just had my bone color matte that I always use for all of my looks to blend out darker shades, you know. I'm just saying that it is easier if you do have, for example, if you use this one here in the crease and up, if you have a lighter pink, for example, that's exactly what I did. This one here, I think this might be even a satin. I'm not 100% sure anymore. It could be. But for example, this one, you know, in order to just have a smoother transition, do you have to do that? Absolutely not. Just saying that it is a possibility. So I do think that everything here worked actually really, really well. I said already about the mattes. Also, the shimmers were really nice. I absolutely adore this green, because green is my color. I love green shimmers. It's beautiful. Now today I also used this one for the first time, and what I always do with glitters is that I back it up with something underneath. So I put this one here underneath. Usually I put mattes underneath. I don't even know why I'm doing that. I don't think it is like necessary, but that's what I usually do. But of course I wanted to stay in that color scheme. So everything really worked super well. This one was a super big surprise because this one has a punch to it like you wouldn't believe. Like, maybe you saw it because I used it here in my outer V, but this has a punch to it and it comes across like really dark and intense, which is super nice. So you do not need a black in the palette, you know. This one is absolutely spectacular. Also, all of these shades really surprised me how intense they were, in the sense of how they went on, with what pigmentation, like with a real punch, all of these shadows. So also this was super beautiful. I used that in the look where I went a little bit more neutral, when I used this one and this one and this one in a look. It was really, really beautiful, you know. So I'm just saying that this is a palette that has a lot to offer, absolutely a lot to offer. Just feel free to maybe pull in something else, especially when you're new to makeup, some lighter shades in order to make you blend easier. Not to make you blend easier, but to make the shadows blend easier, okay? But besides that, I think this is absolutely phenomenal. Now, of course, I already said that the shade range from light to dark is of course not that great, but it is a dramatic palette, so that is the whole point of the palette. So I don't even want to judge it according to that, because there is no point, you know. The whole point of this palette is to be really vibrant and really, really extreme, you know. That is what the palette is all about, and I love it for that, because I'm living palettes like this. So just saying, the lighter shades here are really only these two, this one maybe, but other than that, there is just a lot of pigmentation going on, a lot of vibrancy, and you just need to maybe also just figure out how to work it, you know. So that is that. The buildability was absolutely phenomenal. Blendability was really, really nice. What else? Staining I do have to address, because there is staining, especially with the pinks and the purples, also a little bit with the red, but less so, but extremely with this one and this one. Not extremely, shouldn't say that. there was staining. Okay, me personally, I do not have a problem with this. It just is what it is, and I don't care, you know. Just clean my face in the evening, and then in the morning I clean it again before I put on my makeup, and usually by then it is faded so much that I can work properly and put on whatever shade I want, you know. So that is what it is. Just wanted to say that there is some staining in this palette. Creasing I did not notice at all, and what would I change? I already told you. So that is it. I hope that was helpful. Would I recommend this palette? Absolutely, absolutely. It's a beautiful palette. If you like color schemes like this, if you like beautiful, bright, vibrant colors, that, like, if that is what makes you happy, this is a very, very good palette to do that. Just so you know, if you're maybe not super experienced, or if you want to have a bit of an easier time, feel free to pull in something else, because maybe you are not a YouTuber and you do not have to have this palette stand on its own for a review, right? So that is what it is. I do believe though that in general, considering for what I did today, I think I'm actually pretty happy how the look turned out, even though it is not my makeup preference at all to have shimmers above my crease. So that is it. I hope you did enjoy my review. Check out Lois Cosmetics. She has, of course, these two palettes available. I think that is, as of right now, that's the only thing that is available from Lois Cosmetics, because she basically just started her brand right before the global pandemic hit, and that was so unfortunate because I wanted her to take off with a real big boom, and I think she did okay, but I would have wished for her to just, you know, to get all the spotlight and all the attention, and not, you know, then everything just spun out of control, and that was just so unfortunate. And I wish her so much success for her future, for whatever she's going to come out with. I think her idea of doing this was brilliant, and I'm always, when I'm doing new makeup releases videos and I see some things, a brand doing this, I always refer to Lois Cosmetics, because for me personally, she was the one who did it first, and she deserves the credit for this because it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. So with all of that being said, I hope you did enjoy yourself, and if you're new here, then please subscribe to my channel, check out my other videos, because I also do lifestyle, I also do wrapping tutorials. Whatever you want to see and whatever your preference is, feel free to check out those videos too. You will find everything else that I used on my face, of course, in the description box down below, and I will see all of you here back on my channel for my next video that is going to come really soon. And up until then, definitely go ahead and sparkle. Hugs and kisses. Bye.